Hello, my name is John Liu, the Flow Ninja, and this is an update on Power Clarity. Now, if you have never seen what Power Clarity is, you can go over to powerclarity.app, and I'll put a link down below, and you'll see this very nice little startup page that we put together to describe what does Power Clarity do for you and for your business. Particularly, have a read through the four personas. And Power Clarity is designed for all Power Platform users, whether you're from the business and you just want to know um, if your Power Apps and flows are working correctly. If you're from IT and you have to think about supporting them and how does DLP policy affect your Power Apps and flows. If you're from security, wanting to understand data leak and what connectors are being used. And ultimately, if you're as a leader of the organization, you're concerned with the value, the ROI of the Power Platform. Power Clarity will give you information. It will help you with automating these tasks. We are here to support you and the successful adoption of the Power Platform within your business. Now, that's the very quick overview. Have a read through the web page. Now, we are working rapidly towards having it available for everyone to sign up. But Power Clarity said, let me browse through. So once you log in, you come to this page, and this is a local host build. So this one's running on my local machine. Um, Power Clarity is a service. It is a continuous monitoring of your Power Platform. So we continuously scan all your environments, all your Power Apps, all your flows. Uh, and when we do that, we also check on your makers. So with all this information at our hand, we could easily tell you, hey, you have an employee that's leaving the company, the account is deactivated, but you have a bunch of Power Apps and Flow that are running under that account. And by the way, those flows have 200 runs per day. They're about to stop. So those are the type of warning that we give you, uh, and then uh, so you can sleep better and not worry about these things. Now, Power Clarity, after it scans, it builds everything in database so we can get these stats quickly. There are more things that we're scanning and we're gonna expand all our feature set over time. But right now, you could quickly see an overview of how many makers are making flows and Power Apps and how many connections they're making. And quite an interesting one is Power Clarity scans not just the flows, but also the flow runs. We know how many flows failed within your organization. Jumping very quickly in the Power Apps view, this is really a big list of Power Apps. It's sorted by user by default. Um, Seeing flows. Flow has a specific view that we really like and we want to show you. So our big list of flows, what connectors they're using, what names there are, who are the owners, and so on. One particular one that we are still working on, but quite expanding this, is that flow and flow has this concept of um, a kind of a related data source or a reference data source. So you can see that this flow has to do with a SharePoint site, a Blackmores. These are flows that are related to my root site here. These are flows that are related to a subsite. So you can see we can very quickly identify at a uh, enterprise level which flows are running inside which site. And we also put in the runs information so we know, if a flow has been running quite a lot. So if I take that off again, and then users of Power Studio may be familiar that, hey, Studio also has the runs. How is Clarity different? Clarity is a continuous scan from the server side. Studio is a tool that you need to use. So imagine you're an admin. Every Monday, you need to log in at Studio just to check all your environment. Power Clarity runs it in the background. It checks for you all the time. It raises questions about, hey, these flows runs quite a lot. They look business critical. That's what this red one means. business critical. Um, and we're gonna watch them more closely. If they fail, we will let you know. So Clarity is a governance solution. It's a turnkey governance solution. As an end user, you sign in to be able to see the dashboard. So any number of users in your company could sign in and see the results and update. Hey, this is my flow, and this is business critical, or this is my flow and this is not business critical. So anyone in the company could log in and do that. Um, but it does ask the admins to grant additional permissions to scan the environment on your behalf. And if you're scanning as an end user, then you only see what the end user could see. But if you scan as, say, the environment admin, you don't need to be a tenant admin, but just an environment admin, then we could pick up all the flows that are created um, in that bucket. In the Power Apps side, should have shown that earlier. There is also there are certain types of forms that are called web. So these are basically SharePoint integrated Power Apps. Okay, so these are Power. We will do a bit more on the SharePoint facet. There'll probably be a facet here for SharePoint explicitly, and that will show us group by SharePoint sites, kind of similar to what you saw with Flow, but group by SharePoint sites, both the Power App and the Flow side by side. So we want there to be a facet where you can spin the data and basically say, hey, for this SharePoint URL, what are the apps and flows that are all connected to the SharePoint URL? And we think that's a super valuable view of this data. You can very quickly see who are responsible for maintaining this Power App and the flows associated with that. And you can also see the number of runs and who number of users that are sharing this, all within a grouping of a SharePoint site. So we think that's super valuable. We have a similar idea for CDS as well. So we can also see the flows that are running, one or many flows that run on the same CDS list. So that's super valuable. Now, very quick one on this. So this is a long update. We haven't done one of these for a long time, just catching up on lots of things that we built in the last few months. The events basically are for now, these are the list of all the runs for our flows. We have some long running flows that's still running. Several of them finished. We trap any errors that happen. If an error has happened but still successful, it's most likely that an error was caught. So we caught the error and then the flow was able to continue successfully. We also could see this is a last 7-day range. So we're running last 7 day of errors, of flow runs, which is 6,000 runs. We could very quickly filter to, let's go with test fail and fail. So you see that these are real fails, and the test fails we actually mark it as gray. Because if you're building a flow and you run a test and it fails, well, that's not really a real fail, right? That's just a test fail. So we classify them differently. A fail run is when an automated or a trigger has the system has automatically run this flow and did not run successfully. Then we flag that as a real failure. Now, from these, we send daily, and you can change that to weekly, but we send daily emails as a summary of all the flow runs that failed. I have an old report that I wanted to bring up and show. So I wanted to quickly show this is one such email that we send out. This is basically telling the flow owner, but also the admin, that in the last 24 hours, your flow, and these are links that will take you directly to them, 3 runs of your flow has failed. And we put in the definition of the description, and we basically try to bring that forward to your attention. Yeah, so this is a little bit more information than and from here we have additional ideas like you could specify a webhook. So rather than we send you an email, we can actually ping you and trigger your webhook so you know that, oh, a flow has failed, and we'll give you the metadata of that flow, and you can log that to your system or send an email from your webhook directly. So we'll take out that for you, and we want this to integrate well um, with the support and the governance side. So any user in the company could come in and update their own flows and say, "Yep, that's me," or "No, that's not me. That's actually supported by this other guy." So imagine your flow runs as a service account, but the email really need to be directed to the developer, and that may be external, or it's directed to someone that's um, there's another email account, or maybe it's a team's email account, so the whole team will be aware that such a flow has been failing. So we want to enable all those scenarios for you to connect, have the peace of mind of monitoring all your flow runs, and also have a overview governance portal to be able to see all your Power Apps and all your flows. And this is something that we are working on. We have been working on this for 6 months now, at least 6 months. We started planning this probably over a year ago, but we started writing code about 6 months ago, and being building and building. And this is a turnkey solution to sign up. Basically, you come to the settings and edit account, and it will go through the auth flow to ask for permission. And recently, we started a second grant, which is you can incrementally grant additional permissions. You could say, okay, here's the primary permission to see all your Power Apps and flows. And by the way, in my particular setup, we are scanning with 3 different accounts. We are using 3 different accounts to just increase the coverage, but also if you're owner of a flow, you could scan more detail. If you're admin, you can see everything, but you can't see the details. If you're owner, you can actually see details. So if you're admin and you use a environment admin account, you can kind of see all the flows. But if you want to see deeper details about the definitions, you may want to also add the service account as another scanning option, and that both improves the scanning speed and we don't run into API limits, but also it means that we can dig out more details to really help you monitor your flows. Now we are also starting to work on granting the common data service that will let us read all the CDS. So the CDS and the flow is kind of two separate data. But if we have permission to read CDS, we can also read all the solution flows and Power Apps and also model-driven apps. So CDS is an important part of governance and monitoring. So we are working to build that. But then there will be more. We want to add Office 365 Management API, and then we want to add Power BI as well. So there are all areas that we will light up here. We want to help you do governance of Power BI. We want to help you do governance of uh, all the Office 365 events relating to Power Apps and Flow being created or run or share. We want to capture all that. So a lot of stuff to do, and right now we are at the stage where um, we really want to just open our doors and and if we could help you and do something that could help you, we would like to start scanning for you, and we need your help to guide us and decide what are the features that that you need, and we'll build that. We'll build towards that. So a really crazy, insane, and really fast scanning engine. 10 out of 500 apps and 1,000 flows, we scan that in about 10 minutes. So a lot more to do, a lot more to do on the UI side, a lot more to do on the reports that we can give you, a lot more to do in terms of automated policies that perhaps we can build. But we need your help, and we would like to help you. So contact us and we can work together. Okay, so you could contact me on this email. You could contact me, johnw@flowstudio.app, and just mention that you want to trial Power Clarity, and let's set you up. Cool, really excited. Hope to see you soon. Bye.